Hey everybody, it's Kyle from Beyond Kuiper, and for this video I wanted to give a behind-the-scenes look at some of the environment and ambient sounds that you're going to hear throughout the book. So in this chapter, chapter 9, we have what you would presume to be our main character for this chapter, leaving a building, walking across a campus, and entering another building. Now, we're not going to go through the whole scene, but I really wanted to show you how I sound designed the rain and her walking across in a parking lot or walking across a sidewalk or wherever it is that she's walking, so that you feel like you're there and you feel like it was you doing it. It's really important for me to put you in the perspective of the first person of whoever you're focused on in that chapter. So for this chapter, it's a character walking through rain. So we have an umbrella that she opens. We've got her footsteps across a wet sidewalk through puddles, and then we have the rain that's around her. So I already have the final sounds put together. It was going to be way too difficult to go through layer by layer in this video in terms of all of the different automation that I had for the rain that I created. But I have the final file here, and basically the scene transitions into the rain. So the rain swells in, and then you hear an umbrella open, and then you hear it transition from rain being around her to rain being on top of the umbrella, and then her walking. So we'll go through that a little bit here. Here is what it sounds like as a complete unit. So you can hear that there's an obvious change right around this mark right here. So this is the critical area to me that is the most important, because it's the smallest detail, but it makes the biggest difference. So whenever you come in to this right here, you're going to hear it transition from just rain ambience to actual raindrops on top of an umbrella. And we'll solo this and let you listen to it. Doesn't sound like there's a whole lot going on there, but there's quite a bit that goes into blending these sounds and having them blend in a way to where it feels normal whenever you're walking through rain. So the umbrella sound soloed is very simple. I decided to leave that pretty dry. I didn't really need to do anything else to it, because in context, whenever you're actually listening to the audiobook with all of the rain and everything else that's going on around it, there's music going on behind this. Just the dry umbrella sound was enough. And you could also assume that if she's going from inside to outside, that the umbrella would be dry if this is where she started. So the footsteps are very simple. I've got one layer of footsteps on concrete and then one layer on a puddle. And the reason why I separated them out is because I wanted to be able to control how much of the puddle I got in there. Because, if you're walking outside and it's wet, it's not always just this massive splash every time you put your foot down. Sometimes it's really subtle. So I wanted to be able to control that. This is a MIDI file. So this whole sequence of footsteps here are actually triggering a plugin that I have here. And my footsteps are generating from these two plugins right here for my sounds. So that is the basic overview of our character walking from a building out into the rain and then to where she finally gets and closes a door. So here's the end of that sequence. So there's a lot of reverb on the end of that door close because it's a really big empty hallway that she walks into. But to close this scene out, we have the door opening, and then she shakes her umbrella off, because you could assume that she would shake it off to make sure that get all the water off the top of it, just like any one of us would. And here's that sound again in detail. There you go. So that was another behind the scenes look at some of the sounds that went into Beyond Kuiper, the audiobook. Hope you get a chance to check it out, download it, leave us a review, share it with everyone. And till next time, thanks so much.